it is necessary to step back a bit. But what it now means to lose yourself in marriage is you don't know when your sacrifices are no longer required.
Thank you.
And because of that, you just continue to stay in that state where you think that, well, this is my life now. And unfortunately, it happens to a lot of women. There are times that your sacrifices were required, and at the time people stopped needing you the way they used to need you, you didn't understand that, okay, this time nobody needs me that much again. You are at home waiting for secondary school children to come. You get, so at that point they don't need you. Even at that point, if you're not careful, your children will be ashamed of you. That's when they'll say, "Mommy, don't wear that jeans to school. Dates before you come. Don't," because they don't want to be associated with you at that level again. And the only thing you can do for your teenage children is to be an inspiration to them.
I'm your host, Ifantini Jerry, a devoted Christian, loving wife and mother, evangelist by calling and a passionate lover of God. Each week we gather to explore the depths of God's truths, seeking wisdom for our daily lives. Join me as we dive into scripture, share personal testimonies, and engage in heartfelt conversations that inspire and uplift. Together we grow in faith and understanding of the spiritual journey. Come along with me. Nike Adekunle is a certified marriage coach and emotional therapist with a passion for helping individuals and couples build emotional, healthy relationships. With several years of experience, she specializes in infidelity recovery, conflict resolution, and emotional healing, guiding people towards deep and meaningful intimacy.
Hey Nike, welcome to our media edition of Wisdom Insights.
Thank you for having me. I would say thank you for doing this, and I'm thankful to be here as well.
Yeah, it's our media edition again.
Yes, congratulations for doing this.
Oh, I couldn't wait to do this, but we are here today.
Yes, we are.
We're here today, and the first thing I want us to talk about as kingdom girls. Yeah. As kingdom girls, you know, I want to talk about marriage. Yeah. Our Mother's Day is coming up in a few weeks from now. Mother's Day some had done theirs. Some have
we've done Mom during Sunday. So now it's going to be Mother's Day.
It's going to be Mother's Day. So I want to talk about balance in marriage. Yeah. We're young girls that married very early. Yeah. And a lot of things happen. We've transited a lot of seasons and times. And we want to give back to younger people or people that are in seasons that we have left. The balance that needs to come into marriage. So first of all, what I want to ask you is, why do you the importance of bringing in balance in marriage? Why do you think it's important for there to be a balance in marriage?
Okay, so I really think that it's a very important question. Like you said, this is an opportunity to give back and to enlighten people in the kingdom. I think that as Christian women, sometimes we have over-exaggerated views of ourselves. We have been primed to believe that we can be all things to all men. And sometimes we believe that we are superhumans, and we are because just like the Bible rightly said, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. And so we all believe somewhat. We want to be that Proverbs 31 woman that can do everything. But truth be told, we can't do everything at the same time. There are times in our lives that we have to bring in balance. There are things that you cannot do alone. There will be several seasons in our lives, and so there will be several things that will come to the front burner, and there are things that will go to the back burner. And so we need to understand that there will be need to be able to pace our lives accordingly. It is impossible to do everything at the same time, and there will be need for balance both in our life and in our marriages. So definitely, I think that that's one of the beautiful reasons why we should be talking about this topic.
I'm very excited about this topic. Very, very excited about this topic, balance in marriage. You know, most times in marriage, we one person lose themselves because you're sacrificing for the next person. You are not communicating your dreams, your goals, and so you are overtaken up by events, and somehow you lose yourself in it. So the first question I have for you is, what does it mean to lose yourself in marriage?
Yeah, when it comes to losing oneself in marriage, I think if we would be truthful and realistic, it is impossible for you to be in a marriage situation and one person is not sacrificing something part time. I think it's an illusion for you to think that you ever go into marriage and all the time everything will be convenient for both parties. There will be some times that you have to be sacrificial. Somebody has to stay back while the other person is actively out there. Because we also need to correct that impression. Because in these days of don't grieve for anybody, I think yes, I think that some people don't understand the demands of marriage.
Yeah.
There will come a time that one person will have to slow down a bit, especially if you have a way. Let me not speak for everybody, let me speak for myself. There is a way you want your children to be trained. You don't want them to be left in the hands of house helps all the time. You want to have contributions in your home personally that you don't want to delegate to anybody. So it might be impossible for you to take on the kind of career that you really desire. You might be slowing down.
Yeah.
And this is a gender neutral subject.
That's right.
Sometimes it might be the man that will just decide that let me stay back a bit so that you go out there and do the things that you need to do. And there are times that you have high flyers as husbands and you will decide that, okay, let me stay back a bit so that they will be more out there.
Yeah.
That does not mean to say that you have forgotten your dreams or anything. It just means that it is necessary to step back a bit. But what it now means to lose yourself in marriage is you don't know when your sacrifices are no longer required.
Thank you.
And because of that, you just continue to stay in that state where you think that, well, this is my life now. And unfortunately, it happens to a lot of women. There are times that your sacrifices were required, and at the time people stopped needing you the way they used to need you, you didn't understand that, okay, this time nobody needs me that much again. You are at home waiting for secondary school children to come. You get so at that point they don't need you. Even at that point, if you're not careful, your children will be ashamed of you. That's when they'll say, "Mommy, don't wear that jeans to school. Date before you come. Don't," because they don't want to be associated with you at that level again. And the only thing you can do for your teenage children is to be an inspiration to them.
That's
so
right.
we should all realize when our sacrifices are no longer required and you now continue pursuing your dreams. So there are people that stop pursuing their dreams because they believe that it is something that is permanent, or maybe they just don't remember anymore that I had a dream before I got married, especially if the marriage is comfortable. There's a lot of money, you know, and you are just a Odogu Pararan's wife.
I know what you mean. You know, it's interesting that most times when we women get into marriage, we let go of our dreams, we let go of our passion, we let go of our desires of who we are meant to be, and that brings us to a place where we begin to lose ourselves. Or it's a two-edged sword, or you have so much dreams and you are not ready to let go for a moment, a season, or a transition in time. You want to do everything at the same time. And you are losing things and you're not counting the cost. Okay, if I do this, what is the what's the advantage and what's the disadvantage? Weighing the advantages and disadvantages to know what are the consequences of it. So we'll begin to
the cost-benefit analysis.
God bless you, my sister. What does a healthy balance in marriage look like?
Okay, so for us to be able to answer that question, and because you know that this is my field, and I'm a teacher, So I might want to go to the granular basis, and I don't know how much time you have for me to answer this. It depends on which part of the marriage you are looking at. Sometimes you may be talking about healthy balance in your relationship with your husband himself, a healthy balance with your children, a healthy balance with the career that you are into, and just generally healthy. So when we talk about what a healthy balance should look like in your relationship with your spouse, I think that for like we said, there are times that one person needs to make sacrifices. Usually, if we'll not lie to ourselves, women are quick to just do your thing and I'll step back a bit. And I think that when it comes to making sacrifices for whoever and whatever, the moment it is only one person that is making the sacrifices all the time, in fact, it is expected, that before Uncle, you're the one that will make it now. You get that
submission. That's why that word submission.
And then it begins to fly around. That submission word.
She's not a submissive wife.
No. You need to submit. You need to, and it just becomes automatic that people are asking you. All eyes are on you when sacrifices need to be made. Then there is no healthy balance in the demands that are being made on you and your time. I think that once it is one person that is taking all the sacrifices and it is one person that is making all the sacrifices, I think we are beginning to enter into a domineering relationship where we are having a dominant partner and a more recessive partner. And so you don't want to be that person in your relationship. And so you try to, sometimes, even as Christians, I think we also have the problem of not understanding how to accept sacrifices, because some women already get into that mindset that accepting sacrifices from other people means I'm selfish. So I want to go for my masters, for instance, and they're asking us to bring £30,000 or $30,000, and it's now feeling like, if I take this amount now, won't it look like
I'm selfish?
So at the end of the day, everybody needs to sit down. Let's plan the family resources. Let everybody's interest be represented, and that way there is a healthy balance in both the finances, in the time required, in the sacrifices to be given. Everybody is being considered. Okay, I've been at home for the past 1 year. I'm beginning to feel like a furniture. Is it okay for me to be able to do this at this time? Thinking about everybody that is involved. There are times that brothers will need to make sacrifices for their siblings. So it's everybody. We all need to, like I used to tell my children when we are splitting the chores in the house, that everybody is the house girl. I'm not the only person that is house girl. So everybody, today you are doing, I am doing, and by the time everybody knows that I am well represented, even the kids need to understand that they are well represented. So in marriage, I think it's about understanding that if one person continues to make all the sacrifices and one person is taking all the sacrifices, then it means that we are already entering into a very delicate slope within the marriage. And for you to be in health with yourself, every single part of you needs to be finding expression. Your spiritual life, your career, your physical outlook, your social life, everything about you needs to be finding expression. And if one part of you is not finding expression, if you're making all the money, for instance, you're a business person and you're always away, your family is suffering. There's no balance in there. So in your own personal life, how am I arranging all the things that I'm interested in to make sure that yes, every part is being attended to? Because if you can be successful spiritually and you're not successful in your family life. So every part of your life needs to be gaining a little attention.
At a point in my life, I felt, and in my marriage, I felt I lost who I was. You know how they'll say, oh, meet David's wife. Meet Ike's mom. They are not calling you, oh, meet Fancy, meet Fancy, And when I began to realize that, I now decided to work on that. I want to hear from you. How do we navigate not losing our individuality?
I think that for most women, it is almost normal for us to get into that space where we are giving so much to everybody that needs us, and somehow we are lost in it. I think it is a fair thing to expect from most women. It's just that we need to be able to draw the balance at a point. Some the things that will be recognized with in this world majorly stems from the things that we're that we do. And so, if you are really not doing anything, sincerely, it is difficult for people to associate you with something that is non existent.
Yeah.
And so, if you are a wife, you would be seen as a wife. And if you're a mom, you would still be a mom until there is an addition to that before people will begin to know that, okay, this person also has this part of her. So, I think that it is a dream that every woman should keep alive. Yeah. That I am someone before I got married.
That's
and
right.
Never lose touch of that person
that you are.
So that by the time, like we have rightly said before now, when our sacrifices are no longer required, go back to that person, keep developing that person, and keep improving that person, so that that other part of you that people don't know would also come to the surface, and people will begin to relate with that part of you again.
The next question I'll talk about is how we'll embrace, I came to a season, let me put myself out there. I came to a season of my life where I had to embrace my individuality, as in who I am, while fostering togetherness. And how I got there was I began to be audible about my goals, about my passions, about my desires of who I want to be, how I want to be seen, what I want to achieve, And I realized I was the one messing myself up because he didn't know what I wanted to do. He didn't know my passion. He didn't know my desires. So he was just working with what I presented on the table. But by the time I became audible, I began to set my goals in place. He was able to work with me for me to achieve it. Yeah. So that brought me to the place of, so he could align his goals with my goals.
Yeah.
And we could begin to work at each other.
Yes.
Achieving them.
Yeah.
I want you to talk about that as an expert.
Okay, so I think that for most people, we don't know how to negotiate our dreams.
Oh, and negotiation.
Yes, and it feels like as a Christian woman as well, like I said, we are always afraid to be seen as selfish or insensitive.
Yeah.
And we want to present that persona of a good person. And so because of that, we put our dreams at the back burner, like I have said.
Yeah.
But you have just stated the question. I mean, you have stated in the answers in your question.
Wow.
Because I think that nobody can work with the desire that you have not spoken about and you're not making negotiations for. And I think that the toughest part for most women is that we will need to get to a place where you will choose me, you will choose yourself ahead of any other thing. And it feels like a difficult decision to make, to get to a place where my son has PTA meeting, I can't make it. I have a dream to catch up with. And at that point, it begins to feel like, am I still godly?
I know.
Do I still love God? Do I still love my family?
I know.
But there comes a time. That guilt.
But they're healthy guilt, so.
They are, actually. Because like I said, you also need to realize that there comes a part of you that your children also has to be proud of.
Oh yeah, true.
There is a part of you that they have to be proud of. They would not understand if you tell them that I ended up like this because I was training you. It will not be a tenable excuse to them. And so there will be a time that you have to choose me over every other person. Husband is coming, meet me at the airport. I'm sorry, I can't. I have to face this. And by the time people see that you are serious about pushing your dreams, even our children, when they begin to tell you, I want to go to school, I want to read law, you ask again, are you sure? Are you sure it's not medicine? Are you sure? So it's like life always organizes that situation where it is asking us, are you sure? And the more you are adamant about it, I am sure this is what I want to pursue, and you are ready to pursue it, you discover that the universe will cooperate, even the family members will
Yeah.
cooperate to support you. But it has to be your seriousness first. You have to
That's right.
sell it that I am serious about this. I don't want to die without achieving this.
Sell
And
it.
yes, sell it and make them buy it.
Yes, so sell it and make them buy it. So I'll be the two last questions I have for you. I'll be bringing them up together.
Okay.
So the question goes like this: for those that have lost themselves in marriage, their marriage, as in they've not been able to sell themselves, they've not been able to negotiate their dreams in the whole family goals setting, how do they rediscover themselves? That's part A of the last question. Then part B is, what are the dangers of outsourcing our identity and personal fulfillment to our spouse? So you've
Okay.
lost yourself, and what is the danger? Because you're outsourcing your personal fulfillment to the next person that doesn't even know your dreams, doesn't even know your passion, doesn't even know your desires.
Okay, so I think that at the end of the day, my prayer for most women is that they are not rudely awakened one day
Oh,
where
that hits
the
hard.
man does not really desire you anymore. Or sometimes your love even becomes stifling.
Oh no.
Sometimes your love becomes suffocating. Trust me, if I want to use the example of people like Annie Dibia, I think she got to that point where
Wow.
our love became too much
Hmm.
and it almost became an obsession. And that's
Yeah.
because you are focusing on the wrong things. There is even the children get to a point where they begin to feel suffocated and sometimes a little bit of resentment.
That's right.
Because if you are not careful, when you don't have any other focus, you tend to take control over other people's lives. You have a say in everything that they are doing. You are wearing yellow socks, don't wear yellow socks, change it to blue, change it to white. And at a point, you're like, this woman that is always at home, safe. That's why she's always seeing everything. What concerns her with this one? And people begin to get frustrated with you. And I think that we need to understand as human beings that there is a level that love gets to that it becomes stifling and suffocating. It looks like you're breathing down people's necks. And to save yourself that embarrassment, you need to look for other focus that shifts your focus away a little and creates a room for you to be missed. Trust me, the same things that people are complaining about is not that they don't need it. It's just that you give it too much in abundance, and when they have not even realized a need for it. One of the definitions of control is that you give people, you provide for people when they don't need, when they have not realized a need for something. So, for instance, Amatan is coming, and before Amatan, you have gone to shop for your teenage children, you have gotten them sweaters and everything, and you are distributing it to them. And they're like, Mom, it's not yet, I don't need it now. You keep it. You know that Amatan, for you as a parent, you know that I have saved money because I didn't, because when it is rainy season, to buy umbrella is a bit more expensive.
True.
And when it is that time, it will be expensive. You as a parent, you understand that when I buy it now, it's cheaper. But they are feeling stifled because my friends, this is not what they are wearing now. Why do I need to buy something that I will keep for a long time? You have not even given me the opportunity to determine if I like it or not. So somehow they are complaining about the loss of their power of choice. And you are feeling like, but I'm doing what is necessary. So leave people, let them miss you. That's you that you used to follow them to the market and you are saying, do you like this one? And everybody's like, because it looks like you force them to come to the market. By the time you give them the money, go and buy, and they buy rubbish. Next time they'll come and meet, Mommy, please follow me to the market. I think you know how to pick nice things. At that time, it becomes a blessing, not the quote and unquote course that it is right now.
Right now.
So I think that we need to give people space to miss us. There is a way the game is played, and most women don't understand how, and so they pour themselves empty. And when by the time you are empty, you are no longer attractive.
Yeah.
And so you need to preserve your strength. You need to. So for people that have lost themselves, you will need to go and understand how the game is played. Disappear from the scene for a while and let people realize that, oh, if mommy was here, by now would have eaten. By now this, and they'll begin to value those things that you do more. It's not a place of wickedness. You are also pursuing something important, but in the process, you are also rebuilding something that has been broken because of too much availability. So you are killing two birds. No, yes, with one stone. It's two birds that we're killing with one
because
stone.
You're pursuing your dream,
and at the same time, you're creating an opportunity for people to miss you and value your contribution.
Whoa! I want to have had this topic with anybody. You know, I'm so happy you ordered this invitation and this podcast.
Thank you, and I'm proud of what you are doing.
Thank you, my sister. God bless you for us.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. On that note, we've come to the end of Healthy Balance in Marriage. Watch the podcast and enjoy. My dear sister, Nikki Adekunle.
Thank you.